Hey guys, I wasn't sure if you would want a live chat in the middle of the day like this, or the middle of the afternoon, I should say. Hey Sharon, this will be a short one. I just wanted to touch base. Did you guys see the video that Cher posted the other day? She said that she went into, I think, a Walmart, and she asked random people if they have ever heard of Christopher Watts or Nicole Kessinger, and nobody had ever heard of Christopher Watts or Nicole Kessinger. And I think that is true across the board. I think most people, unless you've been a true crimer for a while, I think most people have never heard of this case. With the Netflix series, or not series, the docudrama, I think there were people who watched it who had never heard of the case before and who have not cared about the case ever since. This is not the number one case being discussed in the true crime community. However, it is the only case which brings with it gangs of thugs who are trying to silence the narrative, unless it's a narrative that they control. So I think that's something to consider. That, and also, my opinion, that there are actually very few of the scumbag thugs, too. I think they use multiple fake profiles. I think they buy their subs. I think they're into doxing and harassment and all sorts of illegal acts in order to try to rake in some quick cash off of the deaths of two innocent children. What do you guys think? Do you think that the case of Christopher Watts is as popular as people are saying it is all over social media? Hi, Angie. Hi, Laura. I think it's also interesting to note that when any discussion on the case started to dwindle, and it's happened a few times, quite a few times, then all of a sudden there's some sort of drama playing out, right? I think it's funny that when we're told to stop discussing the case, many of us had already stopped discussing the case. Real Justice says, I think you should play some videos so we can discuss them. I tried that last time, Real Justice, and we couldn't hear it very well. I can try it again. Let's see here. If we pick up where we left off with that one, and then you guys let me know if you can hear it very well. Hi, girl. That's interesting. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Can you hear that okay or no? I have too many windows open here. I'm confused. Oh, you couldn't hear it? Okay. I clicked on the NA video and played it for a couple minutes, and It's interesting because it sounds like NA is saying that she was checking her text messages to see what Cassie told her to remember to say. I don't know. We'll just have to wait until Honey Badger visits us at some point. I know she's super busy though, so I'm thinking probably in the middle of the day she won't be able to join us with this one. I don't know. If she does, we'll just ask her to play that for us because from what I just heard, it sounds like she was checking her text message from Cassie to tell the police whatever it was she was supposed to say. Yep. Yes, Sharon. Yes, thank you for that. Yep, that's exactly where that starts. Thank you so much for that. If you hadn't put it in the comments the other day, I would have been like, oh, where was it? Hi, Belong. Hi, Lainey. Sharon's here. Lydia's here. This too shall pass. Move on. Wanda. YCC. Your Caught channel. Brown Eyed Girl. Let's see what Wanda Rose wrote. Netflix did not create what they wanted. They thought it would be like Avery, but the reverse. Instead, it didn't create any uproar and made people think there's more to the story. I agree completely. Although, I must admit, I have not watched the Netflix series. I have my own little personal boycott going. But the people who have watched it and who have told me all about it and who have actually sent me little bits and pieces of it, so I have seen some of it, I guess. And also the people who had never heard of the Watts case, who watched it and then shared their opinions with me about what they saw. I think the Netflix docudrama actually presented the opposite of what they were hoping to present. Or maybe not. Maybe Netflix wanted to present a more balanced view of the marriage, right? Because pretty much across the board, people have said to me that after watching the Netflix docudrama, they are of the opinion that Christopher Watts' wife murdered Bella and Cece. And I highly doubt that that was the intention going in. YCC says, now that I have caught a live, can I pop on your channel tonight? Sure. Anybody can pop up on the channel. I should have said that to begin with. I'm sorry. Here is the link. There you go. This too shall pass, move on, says the Netflix movie didn't go too good for her. Showed the true colors of her videos. I agree. From what I've heard, I agree. Mo Girl says, no Netflix for me either. Have you guys seen the video clip yet of, you know who Meghan Markle is, right? Do you remember the video of her kneeling down and receiving flowers from two little girls? And one of them ran away and the other one kind of looked away. It was in the news, I remember, or else maybe it was all over social media, so I figured it was in the news. If you have another window open on your computer, Google Meghan Markle and then something like two little girls running away from her or something like that, and it'll come right up. If I'm in full lockdown, I'm not aware of it, Mo Girl. I don't think so. Real Justice is talking about the video from when they were over looking at Nate's camera. Real Justice, do you want to hop up and explain what you're talking about? Alternate Juror says, notice how Shannon's family and friends constantly promoted that Netflix documentary. I thought it was interesting that we didn't hear anything about it until shortly before it was aired. I heard about it because I had people calling me from North Carolina telling me that Netflix was coming to town. And what I was told, they were bringing gifts and taking the family out to fancy dinners. And then I didn't hear anything about it coming up. And then all of a sudden, yep, sure enough, it was coming up. And don't forget that GoFundMe that was posted just a few weeks before the Netflix docudrama, right? Right, exactly, alternate juror. I agree with you. They claim they don't want anyone to talk about it, but hey, everyone, watch the Netflix documentary. Watch Cindy Watts slide down the slip and slide, because that's what mothers-in-law who get along together do. They put the picture in of the other mother-in-law sliding down the slip and slide instead of all the other beautiful photos of her with those grandbabies. Real Justice says you'll see that it was Betty's car pulling out of her driveway that triggered Nate's camera and got it to start recording. Where did they have a GoFundMe? On GoFundMe. Oh, why did they have a GoFundMe? I'm sorry. I'm like, what? Oh my. Well, let's see. I'm not sure if I have that. Let me look here. I might be able to read it for you if I can figure out where to find it. I'm looking. Hold on a second. I'll find it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Let's see. No, I don't. You know what? I probably shouldn't look because it takes me a while to find things even when I'm not on a live chat. I probably won't find it. But the short answer is that they were claiming they needed money in order to evidently create a law, though we're not quite sure what the law was to be about. And then also in their comments, they stated that they needed it in order to send, I think, about 5 of us to prison for life. So I have a feeling, I should say, a little birdie told me that there were many people who contacted GoFundMe to opine on whether or not that GoFundMe was on the up and up. Okay, the person who is clicking on it, do you want to stick an avatar? Because it looks like it's like kind of black and cloudy and it's moving around. And I know you can't answer me, but I'll ask you anyway. Do you want to stick whatever your avatar is up there? Or do you want me to just go ahead and put you up there? If you can answer in the comment section, that'd be good. Chrissy's going to be listening to us in the grocery store, so she's going to be like over by the produce, and all of a sudden she's going to go, yes, yes, Miss Mensa. Oh, you are so right. And people in the store are going to be going, social distance. As we all learn how to be antisocial. Do you guys find yourself like smiling with your eyes? You notice that? How you can kind of smile at strangers with your eyes? Well, that's good, Susan. I'm glad you do, but I love your last part, ZZ. That's what you really love. Okay, me. We'll try it again. Hi, me. It looks like you're moving around in the dark. Hello, me.
Hello.
Hello. Do you want to stick a picture up or do you want to keep it?
No, I'm just going to float in the dark. Is that all right?
Yep, that's fine.
Hi, it's actually YCC.
Oh, good. Okay. Hi, YCC. Because on the thingy up here, it says me.
Yeah, no, because I changed that. You know what I mean? But I am YCC. And what I'm going to talk about tonight, what I want to talk about tonight, I just put a video up there not so long ago about a few people. Okay? Can you hear me okay? Yeah?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, can you understand me? Am I talking slow enough?
Yep, I'm just sitting back enjoying a cup of coffee and letting you take over.
Oh, no, I can't because I'm not a public speaker.
Well, I was going to ask you quick, though. Do you want to sing us a song first or no?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No. I only can do that in the background.
Okay, go ahead. We can hear you just fine.
Okay, right. I put up a video about a few people tonight, all right? And one was about Mummy Ramblings. What do you call her? What's the word you call her? What's her name? Can you still hear me? Yeah?
I can hear you. I was just out by the door.
No, don't be about. You get back in.
I heard you.
No, you have to ask me a few questions. What do you call Mummy Rumblings?
Well, if I tell you what I call her, then it won't be calling her a secret name.
No, it's that other name. Well, I call right. She put up a video last night or the night before about sending a message out to all us haters, which we're not haters. We've all got opinions. But the message came from Sandra. Have you seen that video?
I haven't seen the video, but people sent me links with their timestamps. And
oh my goodness.
This is my understanding, is that it's an opportunity to fill their comment threads with hate. And so I took a stroll down their comment threads, and sure enough, the very first one was very hateful and disgusting.
Well, personally, I don't really read messages. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because usually I watch you on my TV. You know what I mean? I don't use my phone to do anything. I just watch you on my TV. You know? But then I seen that as I call her, the new AD of YouTube, you know, who to watch, who not to watch. Don't be hitting a like button or anything because you give people a platform.
Right. This is what I was told. I was told that the message from Christopher Watt's in-laws or mother-in-law was that it didn't bother her a bit. She was fine. None of it matters. But evidently she said something to the effect of she'll be suing, or her lawyers will be suing or something.
Well, I don't know if you've watched any of my videos or anything, Miss Mensa, but I put them little comments up. How did she know these things were out there? And then she was suing, and I said, well, yeah, I understand her suing because the Ruzaks is all about money.
Well, if
So,
it doesn't bother them, I'm not sure why the need to have a channel creator do a video where in the chat threads and in the comment threads, have at it to go ahead and post your hateful comments to people. Yeah, that's a really loving group over there for sure.
Yeah, but I know it's not the only, but why did Sandra Ruzak go to Mamma Mia, as I call her, and tell her to put out that when Frank Jr. has got a YouTube and he could have done it?
Well, I think Frank and Frankie both do.
Yeah, well, probably. Look, really and truly, I only follow who I want to follow. You know what I mean? And the reason why, and I put it always, I've actually got you on my video at the end of my video to say, Miss Mensa, why I follow her. Because you let people have an opinion.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think this is the only channel that does.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
That's why. Yes, and I am glad now you're doing lives, because at least everybody now and now other people know that not everybody is thinking that way. That way, if you understand. I don't like.
Right. Well, and here's the thing I think to say right off the bat.
Yeah.
Is we are not the haters, like you stated. We're not the haters.
No, we're not.
We're in fact the people who are actually concerned about what two little girls suffered through. We're the compassionate ones. We're the ones who actually care about what happened to two little girls. And we also care about the truth. And if the other channels want to promote hatred and violence and harassment and be total scumbags, then that's on them. If they want to call us a hate channel, then I think we should take it as a compliment.
Yeah, well, I personally don't like it's being called hate. I like us being the people who have an opinion, or actually, I'll tell you what your channel has brought to me. Right? You've brought even to the community about being, the way we. Oh God, the way I'm not a public speaker.
Yes, you are.
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm not very good at really expressing it. But you've brought into your channel now about battered men. They don't have to be battered as in hand, fist or anything. Battered as in mind battered. Woman has been mind battered. Child abuse. Everything has been brought into your channel. And
well, there are so many issues with this case. There are so many glaring issues that deserve to be discussed.
And that's why you're bringing this all into the forefront. And I can explain about, I can see Chris Watts being battered as in mind. Because I've been that person on the other receiving end, and not knowing that we just bow to a command. Once upon a time we bow to a command. That way?
Right, you don't have to be hit to be battered, but in Christopher Watt's case, he actually was hit, and that's something that nobody's talking about. Early in their relationship...
Well, personally, I did not know he was hit.
Early in the relationship, she grabbed him when he had a different opinion than she did, and he dared to speak his opinion. She grabbed him, and she shoved him out the door. I'm talking throughout the house. And out the door, and locked it, and left him standing out there with no phone, no car keys, nothing. And if somebody's going to do that, just imagine if that was a man who did that to a woman. Just imagine what would happen. She'd run to the neighbor crying. The police would come. He'd be put in handcuffs, and he'd be, having a criminal record of domestic violence.
Funny, I wouldn't have put that on to, I can understand. Yes, she touched him and put him out. So yes, she done that.
And sometimes in abusive relationships, that's all it takes is one physical assault, in order
But
to take
yeah,
over with the mental and emotional and the financial and the sexual
yeah,
abuse,
yeah,
all of it. Because
yeah,
notice how it seems nobody ever wanted to make her mad. Well, isn't that kind of weird that nobody ever wanted to make her mad?
exactly. Yeah, no, no, yeah, I can understand that situation as well because I was in the middle of that. But it took me maybe 3 to 4 years before I even understood where I was at.
Yep, yep,
Because I say it's a very slow process before
yes.
you be. And oh God, do you want to explain it or do you not want to explain it?
I think your point is very well made just with that alone, because sometimes if you go into too much detail of your own personal life, then the
Yeah.
attackers will run with that, and you may want to be
No.
self-protective in this
Yeah.
area.
No, it's just that I just, yeah, it's a very 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 slow process, and you don't even realize that it's happening to you until it's probably too late.
Right. There's something I call the erosion. There's like a
Yeah.
progressive dehumanization, and it's like
Yeah.
the erosion of your identity. And
Yeah.
until you're able to reclaim your identity and have proper boundaries, healthy boundaries in place, then
Yeah.
it is difficult to realize the extent of the abuse that you've suffered.
And honest to God, I really can't go back that far to understand even when it did happen. When did it even start? Because it goes back that far.
I think that
That
the
you,
abuse started the day they met. I
yeah,
think the abuse started as soon as she found out that he had $12,000 in his savings
yeah.
account,
Oh my God,
and
that was ding ding ding.
as
And
soon
I
as
just think,
she
I
found
just
out he had
honestly,
an excellent.
sorry.
Go ahead. No,
No,
go
I
ahead.
just think that's an excellent point that you put there. That it started from day one when she seen the money.
I
You
think
know,
that
when she,
on the
yeah,
first date, I think probably even before she went on a date with him, she probably, people are saying he
probably
chased her down
investigated.
and all that crap. I don't believe it at all. I think that probably she was aware of him. She was aware of his income. She
Yep,
probably did a
yep,
background check on him or something.
yep,
And I think she decided that his paycheck would do.
yeah. I think yeah, she's seen it all. Especially when you're on Facebook, you start looking and searching and looking and searching, and trying to find out more about him.
I do believe she targeted him. Sapphire
I,
said yes, she targeted him, in my opinion. I agree, Sapphire.
yeah,
I think that with her job in the car industry, I think that she probably was made aware of him, whether or not it was by his cousin's first wife or whoever, I don't know. But I think once she was made aware of him, that she figured that he was probably making a ton of money. I think she probably figured that he had the excellent credit. I think she went on the
yeah,
first date and found out that in fact he did, that he was
yeah, because
frugal,
yeah.
hardworking, and
Can I
pretty
stop? Can I stop
pretty
you there?
gullible.
She probably questioned him and hammered him down, finding out everything about him on the first date.
And then
And
we're told that 3 weeks later she quit her job. So I don't know how on
yeah,
earth a person would quit their job like that. I mean, that just if she has a mortgage, right?
yeah.
So I
Oh,
wonder who was paying for her mortgage.
well, do you not think it was that job that she was in that I think it was all a fraud thing. Everything was a fraud thing.
No,
Just
I think that she was actually on some sort of disability income, and I think that when she met Christopher Watts, I think he pretty much took over from there.
funny. Um. I think I asked you that question a long time ago. Is there any such thing as disability allowance in America?
Yes, and
You
I
know,
think she was on it.
yeah, because I think that's where, but that doesn't say that disability will pay for your mortgage, right? I don't know how much disability is in America.
Well, I don't think it would be much. I think
Yeah,
probably, I don't know how much, but I think probably it would not have been enough to support her new house. I think that when she
yeah,
got that house, that she was still working for that tire place or wheels place or whatever. And she was, in the office, right? And the bank, the lender will
think
send...
she was slipping a few pounds into her bank account? Do you think so?
I don't know.
I think so.
Do you? I know a lot of people say that, but
I'm not going to be shy. I'm not going to be shy about the situation, but I think she was slipping.
I think what happened when she applied for her mortgage, I think that the lender mailed the information to the company she worked for, and I think she's probably the one who helped fill out the documents.
Yeah, but she had to know how much the mortgage cost was going to be, and if she wasn't hitting that, she maybe was slipping a few pounds or frauding a few pounds somewhere to pay her mortgage.
If you think about it, she seems rather immature when it comes to basic math. Okay, she even says she doesn't like math. So who knows if she had a clue what it really entailed?
Well, true.
Who knows? And who knows how long it could be that maybe she was collecting disability. And if she was collecting disability for a mental illness, then it could be that whoever was helping her or kind of overseeing her may have encouraged her to get the house.
Yeah. And do you not think it could be her immediate family? Do you understand what I mean?
Yes, I do think that would be who would be supervising her. Yes.
I don't know if do you know the way her father? I don't like talking about this, but her father's an alcoholic, right?
Well, the only thing I know about that is what we see in the discovery documents, where I think it was. No, let me think. Wasn't it Cindy Watts, I think, who said something in that one book?
Yeah.
That Sandy had said something to her about that, but that's the only thing I know about that.
But then in America, can I ask this question then? In America, is that a disability? Being an alcoholic?
Yes, it is. Yes, and drug addicts. Drug addicts too.
Thank you.
Mental health, drug addicts, alcoholism, yes.
Yep. Right. Right. So doesn't it all add up then where I'm coming from? When I say that everything blends into frauding the government.
Well, I'm not sure that if she was on disability that would have been fraud, because I think she may have had a mental illness that qualified for it.
But I know I'm talking about where it comes from the immediate family, that they know the ropes of how to get there.
Well, I don't know that would equate fraud, though. I don't think.
No, I'm not saying fraud. I'm not saying fraud. I'm saying that that they're saying, oh no, she had a mental illness. No, he's not an alcoholic. He's not, But it's all disability, isn't there? So
what you're saying is there's a whole lot of denial going on.
Yeah.
I think it's what you mean. Let me do this real quick. Angie says, where did the $20,000 cash come from? That would be a no-no with the disability. However, Angie, if you apply for disability, it usually would take a long time to be approved. And then when you get your first disability check, it includes a pretty hefty number because they pay you from the date of your application.
Yeah.
And then one more here real quick. Little Mama said something that I wanted to post up here.
Right, go ahead.
I have to scroll back here. I'm not that fast. Let's see. Little Mama, where's your comment? I saw it, but now I don't see it. Let's see. It's here somewhere. There it is. Okay. Little Mama said, Sandy said that her husband Frank was alcoholic and her son was a drug addict.
Yep.
I didn't see that, Little Mama. I think what I saw was Cindy saying, or somebody saying in a book that Cindy said, that Sandy said that her husband was an alcoholic, but I didn't see anywhere that she said her son was a drug addict. Oh, wait, Little Mama, are you talking about Molly Golightly? Are you talking about that stuff? Because I think in one of Molly Golightly's videos, she had some
Yeah, she said that.
Did she? Okay.
Yeah,
I bet
she did.
that's
Yeah,
I bet that's what Little Mama's talking about then.
yeah. Because I watched Molly Go Lightly as well, because I watched, because I was trying to investigate it, and most of my videos are all about money, and I just say money, 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 money. Do you everything's money.
Well, did you see the GoFundMe that was posted? The GoFundMe that collected supposedly over $10,000?
Yeah, and no, there's a big argument about that too. It's not that I'm involved in it, but I'm posting about that as well. Because I
Right.
have a problem. I don't know if you know I have a problem.
I saw her.
Yeah.
I saw her videos.
Yep, right? And that's when I clicked in and I went bam, bam, bam. That's money. And then it was supposed to be for Shannon's Law or to get AD off YouTube. And then they grabbed the 10 grand and nothing's happening. And then they're saying, oh, COVID, COVID, COVID. No, that 10 grand's gone.
Right. And I'm not sure that they got to keep that 10 grand. I don't know, because that seems confusing to me that when the GoFundMe was over, that the picture was left up there, but the text was taken down. And there was a message posted by GoFundMe saying that if you were a donor, click here for more information.
And what's happening?
So I wonder if maybe something put a stop to the GoFundMe, possibly.
No, Ava's still asking. Ava asked today. Ava still asked today, where is the money? So the money hasn't been refunded or anything. And that's what I'm asking as well. What I am actually doing is saying, please, people, do not hand money over to them, because this.
Well, people certainly have the right to hand money over to them if they want.
Yeah.
And then we also have the right to discuss, in discussing the case of Christopher Watts and noticing that his wife seemed to be awfully involved with fundraisers and getting people to sign up and everything. So it's an interesting connection then to see fundraisers sprouting up all over the place. And so quickly too. There was a fundraiser that sprouted up within just a matter of a few days that raised $98,000 within 2 weeks of the tragedy. That's a pretty fast-growing fundraiser.
For who?
For the Rusaks.
When? The last 2 weeks?
No, within a couple of days of the tragedy.
There was a fundraiser. That money was supposed to be for the funeral. But then I do believe that the funeral was that not state funded?
Was that not what?
State funded. It was funded. By the it was paid by the government.
Yes, the government paid in October of 2018. The government paid out. I think the total between September and October was something like over 40 grand. I think it was $36,000 toward the burial. Even though there was a fundraiser that raised $98,000 and growing, they still applied to the county for funds for the burial, which obviously makes no sense to those of us in the true crime community who have watched this unfolding, and we're going, wait a minute, how many times was that funeral paid for?
You see, this is why I put up my channel about the money thing, because it's on. I'm just baffled.
Well, and you do realize that on the Colorado, I think it was the Weld County Victims Fund, right?
Yeah.
It says right on their website that it is the payer of last resort. They expect people to use their life insurance policies, other sources of payment for the funerals, that the Victims Restitution Fund is the payer of last resort. And there was a life insurance policy in place, we're told, for $200,000.
Yep.
would have been paid out in plenty of time to pay for the funeral. Then there was a $98,000 fundraiser that would have been plenty of money to pay for the funeral.
Yes.
So why is the Victims Restitution Fund paying for the funeral?
Yes. Yeah. So, you see, this is why I wanted to get on to you, because you're better at explaining things than me. You know, when I want to put a point across, I like you explaining it then, because then you can explain it better. Because I'm saying,
we have a question for you.
Yeah.
Lola Roo wants to know, who is the lady on the panel?
It's me.
Yeah, her name up here says me. She is the channel. What is it? You're Caught channel.
You're Caught channel. Yeah.
Yes, the You're Caught channel. It's called the YCC You're Caught channel.
I'm the nosy channel. I sit and analyse. I said, oh my God, that music family has nearly got £1 million or $1 million.
I think they have. Yeah, I think they have.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting when we watch the people harassing Cindy Watts and people accusing Cindy Watts of wanting to try to make money. And it's like, what? Cindy Watts doesn't ever try to make money, as far as I've ever heard. You know, it's It's so interesting how all the accusations always seem to be.
Like there's Mummy Ramblin said that, right, I know what you're talking about, Kim, you know, Kim, KK, right?
I don't call her KK. The reason I don't call her KK is because I think that sounds like an affectionate nickname. So I call her the Kim.
Right, the Kim. Right. I'm going to explain something about this one then, right? Mummy Ramblings was talking on her little channel from Sandra. No, the only channel that she really mentioned was The Reckoning. So that was Kim. And she says, oh, every penny that Kim gets, you know where that money goes. I was thinking, wait, do you think Kim is giving the money to Chris Watts? Not a hope in hell. Kim's keeping it.
Yeah, exactly. That money's going to Kim, just like the money that Alice Cooper is raking in is going to Alice Cooper.
I just said, are you stupid? That money is going to Kim.
Well, I think it's funny when somebody who's on a monetized channel with a long list of links to how you can send money to her. I think it's funny when she's complaining about any other channel making any money from anyone's clicks or views or whatever, because it's just like when people are saying stop talking about the case while they're talking about the case. It's like, okay, guess what, world? We're through with the double standards. You want to talk about Cindy Watts? Then guess what? We'll talk about Cindy Watts too.
Yeah.
You want to accuse Christopher Watts about sexual abuse? Then guess what? We're going to start talking about the rectal thermometers. You know, it's like we are so through with the double standards.
Oh my God. Miss Mensa, can I just thank you for that one, right? Because I put up a video. I put up a video again about this crap, all right? But then you went and put the video up about a couple of days later and started talking about that, you know, about the child abuse.
Yeah.
And I just said, I think I wrote on your panel or underneath you, I went, thank God you can explain it better than me.
Well, I think it's disgusting, absolutely disgusting that one channel after another is simply trying to figure out their way to get more subs or to get more views or whatever. So they come up with this baloney. And, you know, I'm personally very tired of the hate campaigns that they have going on steady against Christopher Watts, against Cindy Watts, against a bunch of us.
Oh my God.
And they think that they think they can virtue signal their way through being criminal harassed. You know, they're committing criminal harassment. And they're committing defamation, they're committing libel, they're committing IIED.
Yeah.
When Mommy Ramblings puts up a video bashing me and Cindy Watts and lying about both of us in her video, she is committing defamation.
Yeah. And don't forget, right, what we're talking about tonight, there's a possibility that we're going to be charged because they're going to take us up, for criminal whatever.
Who?
Well, that's what Mummy Ramblin said, that we can be taken up now, for whatever.
Oh, you mean they're going to have us arrested, or they're going to sue us or something?
Something similar, yeah.
Oh, they've been saying that since the first week in October of 2018.
And I hope Mummy Ramblings, I'll make a video about this, what I'm doing tonight, and I'll just tell them to go forward to yours.
Well, I think the whole routine of how they're going to have people arrested and they're going to sue people, people have been saying that I've noticed since October of 2018. So I think that's part of, I think what's happening is that there is a gang of scumbags who have attached themselves to the case, to the families. And I think that the scumbag attackers have tried to create a need for their services for the families. And I think then the scumbag attackers use really ridiculous tactics to try to scare people into silence. And then they can run back to the families and they can say, see, we're helping you. And I think part of their scare tactics is that they're going to have you arrested and you're going to go to prison for life. YCC, I just wanted you to know your camera went to your kitchen and everything, so I clicked you off quick just in case you want to stick up an avatar, because your picture is kind of like going all over the place. It's like upside down and all around. Are you ready?
The sun came in and they turned on the light.
There you go. Yeah, it was all over the place. I wasn't sure, and there was someone else in the background that I thought, oh, they might not know they're on camera. So I clicked you off.
Thank God I cut my hair today.
Well, I clicked it off quick because I wasn't sure if everyone knew it was going.
Oh no, thank you.
But yeah, I think that's one of the tactics that the scumbag attackers have used from the very start. One of the first stupid threatening text messages I got said that the FBI were going to be at my door on Monday morning to arrest me. And, it's like, I read that and just thought, what kind of idiots are these, that they would even think, I had another psycho weirdo scumbag attacker send me a cease and desist, right? A cease and desist. And the cease and desist was so poorly written and so out of whack that I just looked at it and thought, she has got to be kidding. But what happens is if you listen to other people who have been harassed by these same people, some people do get scared about that stuff. They actually get scared about it. And, that's how they try to terrorize people with those threats. So,
especially if you don't know anything about it, you know what I mean? If you don't understand it, or, but that's what the Rusex is trying to do now, everybody's going to be blah, blah, blah.
Oh, well, that has been the threat for a long time. It's been a couple of years that everyone's going to get sued and everyone's going to get arrested, and whoever's using the Frankie profile posted that he has people watching me and recording me and all this crap. Okay, whatever. Not okay, obviously, but it's pretty hard for somebody to claim they're being harassed when they're spending their time harassing me. It makes no sense,
But Miss Mensa, if they're going to start investigating you, right?
Right.
That's what they're going to do, right? If they're going to plan to investigate you, right?
Investigate who?
If they're going to investigate what you've put up in your videos and all the rest, right? There would be no reason
There would be absolutely no reason whatsoever to investigate anything that I've put up in my videos.
No, because you are opening a platform for child abuse, batterings, what happens behind closed doors, what you don't see. And what nobody sees and what nobody will speak about, what happens, you're opening that platform. You see, this is why people are wondering why I'm saying, oh God, I love Miss Mensa. Miss Mensa has opened doors to prove, to show people what is child abuse. And looking at little Bella, oh God, it breaks my heart saying that wee girl's name. Even Cece's name. You've opened that platform for people to look and see and analyze. And what
I'll say this. I'll say this too, that regardless of anybody's opinion on the case, if you, and I don't mean you, but I mean if anybody who we're saying is examining this case, if you're okay with the way that Bella and Cece were treated when they were alive, if you're okay with that, then I would really advise you to examine your standards seriously. Because those poor little girls, especially little Bella, you can see it in her eyes. She had so much sadness and she had so much confusion. And if we as a society don't care about what we see in all those videos, then shame on us. But the thing I wanted to say real quick about this whole idea of investigating us, or we're getting sued, or we're getting arrested, or whatever, we have done nothing wrong. And that's a really good point, and I think it's important to make it loud and clear. We have done nothing wrong. This is a true crime case discussion. The case of Christopher Watts is on the public stage, and it is right full of issues of public concern. And we have a duty as a society to examine these issues that are so glaringly obvious. So if they want to pretend to their subscribers that we're somehow in trouble for speaking our opinions about the case of Christopher Watts, then they're lying to their subscribers.
Thank you. Yep. You see, this is one of the points that I wanted to bring across. That about child abuse. Child abuse is not child abuse, or what people think is what Critical K was talking about. That is, I'm talking about child abuse as that poor little Bella. Her eyes said it all. She actually looked at her mummy before she was allowed to speak. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, she was constantly trying to take the temperature of the room. She was constantly trying to gauge whether or not it was safe for her to speak.
Yep. Because I'll just give you a little insight till the end of my abuse. But I'll give you a little insight of the end of my mental abuse, which I was hitting all the rest, but then the end part, I'll give you an insight. The cops arrested him, took my child off me, and he was say 3 months old. Took my child off me, put him into foster care, and I wasn't allowed to see him until I moved country. Because at the end of the day, they said that the next time they call at my house, they're either I and the child come out in a box, if you understand what I mean, come out in a box.
Yes, the pine box. Tell me this.
Yeah.
Tell me this. And I don't know accents, and don't answer the question if you don't feel comfortable answering.
Yeah, that's right.
But do you live within the United Kingdom?
I live in the north of Ireland.
Okay, that's what people were saying, is you have an Irish accent. I don't know about Ireland, but in the United Kingdom, the statistics show that 1 in 11 cases of domestic violence gets flat out ignored by the police.
Yeah, no, but right. At that time, I was living in England. I was living in England with an Irish man. Okay?
So I think it's interesting that in the United Kingdom, they have so many people who have been harassing me and attacking me. And they come from a country that 1 in 11 cases of domestic violence are flat out ignored.
But
It's like before they get too concerned about our discussion about this case in Colorado, maybe they should act for the women and children in their own country to make sure that when people call for help, that help is available.
At that time, I was living in England. And they took my child off me. They put me into a hostel with druggies and alcoholics, if you know what I mean. Was he arrested? Yeah, he was arrested, but I had to remove myself from the home, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Let me do this. I'm sorry to interrupt, but let me do this quick. James says, Liliana, so much dirty doings in North Carolina. No wonder she wanted to move to Colorado because of her health. Wink, wink. I do want to say this. I do believe that Christopher Watt's wife was trying to better her life, and I think she was trying to have a better life for her children. I do believe that. And then the next one I want to say real quick is DG posted Cece's crib video. She also looked fearful until Christopher Watt's wife let her know that she was filming live. And then there was a difference in her appearance because she knew it was safe, probably, right? The comment reads, it was safe to perform. I agree with that. In my opinion, those little girls knew if that camera was on, there was a different set of rules going on than if that camera was off.
Right. You know that first comment you made? The first comment you made there, somebody says that that Shanann thought that she moved to a hotter climate that it would help her. I do not believe that Shanann had lupus, right?
I don't believe Shanann had any of the illnesses she claimed.
No. There's a possibility. No, there's a big possibility she might have oh God, that's a big word. Fibromyalgia.
I don't think she had fibromyalgia either. I think she had mental illness. Yeah,
but don't get me wrong. Fibromyalgia is strong from the mind and from the brain. Okay, it is a mental illness. You have to start training your brain that you don't feel pain.
I want to share something with you. Okay. One of a couple. There's a couple in my community, very successful, very hardworking, intelligent. They're wonderful parents. They have a wonderful marriage. And the wife suddenly became ill. And she was diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and she couldn't get off the couch. She was exhausted. She was in pain. And this went on for a couple of years, and it progressively got worse. And suddenly, laying on the couch, in pain, in tears, she decided that she was going to change her life. She put on her running shoes, and she started to run. In absolute pain, she started to run. And hold on a minute. Hold on. In absolute pain, she started to run. She ran just a little distance, a little bit at first, probably even not even to the end of the block, if I remember how they tell us about it. Then she ran a little bit further. She ran a little bit further. Every day, she started her day off with the intention of running a little bit further. In pain, and I'm telling you, it was real pain. She was suffering. And she pushed herself and she ran a little bit further and she kept running a little bit further. And within 1 year, she was running the 5K across the bridge. She is living pain-free. She does not believe at all that she has fibromyalgia. So there is a connection of some kind in some cases, I would say, based on that success story for sure.
No, the reason why I'm mentioning that fibro, God, I only call it fibro because that's a big word, fibromyalgia. The reason being is because after I arrived back home again, after I arrived back in Ireland again after leaving England, I started up my own business again over at home. It was very hard, very stressful, blah, blah, blah. And within, my son, say when he was 10, I was down. I couldn't go any further. You know, like a stress level hit me. And I was diagnosed with fibro.
Do you have fibro now, or have you overcome it?
I haven't, I'm not to my full capability, but then don't forget now that's maybe 10 years ago. So I have to get into my head that I'm 10 years older. Do you understand?
Time goes very fast, doesn't it? Time goes so fast. I
So
want to say something. I want to say something real quick, and then I want to ask you about the baby. When they took the baby, did you get the baby back?
Of course, yeah. But
and how long was it before you got the baby back?
Oh God! As soon as I got back from, I had to. Right, I tell you, when I got the orders, this is how fast it happened. Say, for instance, on a Friday night, I got battered and bruised and took my child to the hospital with me, or rung the ambulance and got, you know what I mean? The child was taken off me. Say that was a Friday night, right? Put into discharged from hospital, but put into hospital, but lost my child. By Wednesday, say Monday morning, I got the order. If I didn't get out of him, if I didn't get away from him, they would take my child for life.
Well, I will say this. That as bruised and battered as you were, that your baby was in danger. And I do support that sort. I do support that sort of action.
Don't get me wrong. It's because when they arrived at my house, I had my child with me. You know, my baby was in my arms. The blood, my blood was on my child.
Right.
So that's why they took him.
Right. And so that is actually a protective move and that's actually kind of impressive that they would do that, because too often we hear that kids are left in situations that are clearly unsafe.
They took him because they said that I used my child as a shield. Now, probably in the spur of the moment, that is a possibility I done that, but because you know the way you can go blind and you don't know what you done, there's a possibility I thought if I left the child, I wouldn't get hit anymore. So that is a possibility that could have happened.
Yeah, it sounds like they acted on the side of, caution, and that's good. Let me do this. Let me do a couple of comments real quick. Lydia says, I think that Christopher Watt's wife was jealous of little Bella because she was pretty. I agree with you, Lydia. I think that Christopher Watt's wife was jealous of little Bella. I think it wouldn't have mattered how cute or how pretty or how smart or how anything Bella was. I think Bella was getting attention because she was such a little doll, but I think even if she wasn't a little doll, she would have been the child getting the attention, especially from Christopher Watts. And I personally believe that is a core issue to this case, because in my opinion, Christopher Watts was not leaving his wife for any girlfriend. In my opinion, Christopher Watts was leaving his wife for Bella and Cece. And if you're familiar with our channel, then you'll know exactly what I mean by that. And then I'm going to scroll here because there were a couple of other ones that flew right on by. You guys are really making some interesting comments here. You always do. Let's see here. When I scroll up, though, I always kind of lose my momentum. So let's see. Okay, we talked about that one, how I do believe that Christopher Watt's wife was trying to have a better life. I do believe that. Let's see. We looked at that one. Sorry for the silence, guys. I'm just wanting to catch these. Lainey says there was that look she gave. Frightened me, let alone the kids. Liliana says, what happened to the $134,000 GoFundMe on the 14th to bring them home? I didn't know there was a $134,000 GoFundMe. I had no idea. I only knew about the $98,000 fundraiser. Alternate juror says, pinching the children just sickens me. James says she did not have any illness except in the head. Brown-eyed girl says, trained like Pavlov's dog. Camera equals be wild, kiddos. And they never were. Izzy says, it bothers me so much how poor little Bella's hair was cut. It was used as a threat and punishment. I agree with your comments too about not wanting and even being proud of it, boasting that she had never rocked her children. That just seems strange. Let's see here. A lot of talk about fibro. Ada says the video of Shanann squirting water in Bella's face, ears, sad, knowing Bella always had some kind of ear infections. Yeah, it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it, Ada? Whether or not she had tubes in her ears at that point or whether or not she had an ear infection at that point. I think if you have a child with recurring ear infections, the last thing you're going to do is douse their face with water.
Thank you.
They're talking about fibro.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Can you see the comments too or no?
No, I can't.
I have no idea how to make them visible.
I tried to look at them, but then I'm afraid of showing my face. Even though I cut my own hair today.
I'm glad you hopped on. That's cool.
Hey?
Elena is here. Hi, Elena.
I just hope people don't think I'm bashing anybody. I'm not bashing. I'm just.
Well, we have one thing about our channel I think that's different than a lot of the other channels, and that is that we don't expect anyone to post any kind of disclaimer. You know,
Yeah.
there for a while, for like the first year, everyone was like, they'd start off their comment by saying, I'm really not saying that anyone deserved to die, or I'm sorry, or they'd say, I'm sorry if this sounds like I'm saying whatever, you know, but it's like, it's a given. It's a total oh my goodness, look at who's here. Oops, I clicked on.
Badger.
No, not honey badger, dang it. But no, look at who's here. Can you see the screen?
I can't see nothing, no.
Oh, on the screen, I just put it up there. Straight Up Blowing Minds is here, and he says, howdy, everybody.
Who is it?
So Straight Up Blowing Minds is in the house.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my God, yes. I love him. Oh, my God. Well, it's the man, isn't it?
A lot of people still call him Set the Record Straight, but the channel name is now Straight Up Blowing Minds.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I absolutely...
Set the Record Straight is my hero, let me tell you.
Yeah, between you and him, I swear, that's when it started twigging to me and me going, ding, ding, ding.
Well, Set the Record Straight is my hero because he absolutely believes, I think, in standing up for the truth and standing up for Bella and Cece and standing up for little old ladies who have their channel and who are getting harassed by a bunch of scumbag attackers. Because Set the Record Straight takes no crap, I'll tell you that right now.
No, I never see him really, you know what I mean? This is a man, isn't it? Yeah?
Yeah, Set the Record Straight just said, glad to see you're finally live streaming, Miss M. Yeah, it took me a while to figure out how the heck to do it. But now I bought this unlimited package thingy, so I'll be blabbing a lot now. I'm so glad that you stopped by, the Set the Record Straight stopped by, because it's like every time I've gone to start another live stream, I'm like, man, I hope he's gonna land on us one of these days.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I love him.
He is,
Miss
yes.
Mensa.
Susan says he's a celebrity around here. He definitely is. He's definitely my hero for sure.
Miss Mensa, my other title before I started this, the way I'm YCC now, I used to be Lose TV.
I don't know which one that is.
Well, maybe
I don't see. Here's the thing. I don't watch this stuff that often.
Yeah.
But people send me stuff, so I've seen some of it, but I don't really keep it all straight.
No, you used to comment on mine, on my
okay, good.
Lose
okay,
TV.
Good. Was I nice? Was I nice or was I always?
And then I had what do you call him now? Straight. What do you call your man? He was following me as well. And then I just discarded it because you know the way some people can get into your head. And then I just started up this one, and it just went, here, you know what? I'm just going to speak my mind now, and I'm going to tell people that I follow Miss Mensa.
And yeah, that's a gutsy move, because when you tell people that you're following Miss Mensa, then they're going to start harassing you,
No, that's why I put up, oh my God, I lost subs because I put your name up. I don't care. It's what I believe.
Well, and that's the thing I think that's so important is not only standing up for finding out the truth about what happened to Bella and Cece, but also standing up for our right to speak without being harassed by a bunch of scumbag criminals.
Yep. And for somebody to pass on a message.
Set the record straight just said, I've been doing a lot of research behind the scenes, just watching and waiting for the perfect app to rear my head.
Good
I'm glad you're here. That's so cool to have you here.
I am so delighted that he's there. Love it. Where's Honey Badger at tonight?
I don't know. I know she's super busy. Because the last couple live chats, actually, I think there's been like 3 now. I just keep hoping. I know she'll join us whenever she can.
Yeah.
But it's like, especially I can't get my video thingy to work where we can hear it. So we're kind of at a little bit of a standstill, but we've got so much to talk about. And I think, you brought up a really good point about that whole message from Sandy, right? From the Alice Cooper show. And the thing that she kept repeating is that you're not supposed to watch any of the other channels.
Yeah.
And I personally think that the reason Alice Cooper doesn't want you to watch any of the other channels is because they don't want you to hear the truth.
Yeah.
They don't want to have to explain everything that people are talking about, I mean, there are still some people who think that Christopher Watt's wife was a nurse, for Pete's sake.
Madness. They're not. Oh, you see, that's what I'm saying. People are jumping on. I have to say this one as well, Miss Mensa. That Mummy Ramblings mentioned Netflix, but I didn't put it
Okay,
on
hold on
that
just
video.
1 second.
Okay.
Hold on just 1 second. Set the Record
Okay.
Straight says, I'm working right now, but I'll make a promise to come on panel next time. MM goes
Good.
live. Pinky swear.
Good.
Aw, thank you, dear. Thank you so much.
Oh, that'll
You're
be
my
brilliant.
hero, if I haven't said that before. I want to take just a second to say something. You know, I say it all the time, so it might kind of dilute the value, I guess, of what I'm saying when I keep saying that Set the Record Straight is my hero. But he seriously is. Because there were too many months in a row where I was getting absolutely beat on by a bunch of scumbag attackers. And out of the blue came this man named Set the Record Straight, who started really setting the record straight, let me tell you. And it was so encouraging for me because for so long already, I was feeling like, how on earth can it be that so many people are watching this happen? And it felt like I was the only one who kept standing up against the bullshit. And our subs, too. Our subs were right there, right beside me. But when Set the Record Straight started his channel and started posting all of that stuff that he had been investigating, I was like, oh my God, thank you, God, because Set the Record Straight really did have my back. Seriously. You know, when those scumbags were posting their bullshit, Set the Record Straight would challenge them and say, well, really? And then they'd say, what about you? You know, and one by one, those scumbag attackers, they ran and hid because they're nothing but scumbag attackers. So when I say Set the Record Straight is my hero, it is not only because he absolutely shocked me one day when I received those chocolate covered strawberries and bananas and apples. And then a couple of days later, or I think it was the next day, when I was still like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe Set the Record Straight sent me chocolate covered strawberries and bananas and apples. Then the flower delivery came from Set the Record Straight. And I just, like, I probably could start crying right now because it was so appreciated. The timing was so appreciated. And here, this is a young guy, right? And I'm looking at this thinking, wow, this young guy has the sensitivity and the compassion, the capacity to care about another human being with no agenda whatsoever, I mean, I'm old enough to be his mother, right? He did it because he is such a I was going to say superhuman and I said superhuman, but a superhuman, independent, intelligent, compassionate. He's a caring person. And he came on the scene right when I needed him to. Because I'll tell you, those bastards were really pushing every single little tactic that they had in their little sicko bags of tricks. Set the Record Straight came riding in on his white horse, and let me tell you, if you need a visual, just picture him just punching them all right in the, I don't know, I shouldn't say that. So anyway, when I say Set the Record Straight is my hero, I'm not kidding. There, that's what I wanted to say.
Interrupting that one, not saying that he's not a hero, right? But it was once upon a time. You see, I only watched the YouTube on my TV, so I never, you weren't fit to comment. And I always say, oh my God, how awful. This woman is telling us what is happening. And because I visualized what Chris Watts had been going through, I said, oh, how can I get in contact with this woman?
Well, Jane makes a really good point. During that time frame, there were a lot of people getting attacked, a lot of people, because evidently there's somebody who wants to try really hard to hide the truth of this case. And there were people who were actually, I know of 3 young women who were actually pushed to the point of attempting suicide. These psycho scumbags are absolutely dangerous. They're psychotic and they're criminals and they're evil. And, you know, to be able to have somebody like Set the Record Straight just swoop in, save the day, and without Set the Record Straight, I don't know how much longer I would have been able to keep on, you know, putting videos up and stuff, because it was ridiculous. On a daily basis, they were making harassing phone calls, sending threatening texts.
How did you get your phone number? Can I ask? How did you get your phone number?
They had my phone number posted all over the internet before I had even heard of this case. They targeted me. They targeted me right off the bat. They had my phone number, my address, my children's information, my work information, everything. It was an organized and disgusting attempt to make an example of me in order to frighten other people from talking about the case.
Okay, then. Can I hop in before you speak again then? You're saying an organized committee. You know what I mean? Remember Zavgir had that share on. In among your video that I made today, I put up Zavgir, and do you know that share? She's a voice behind the wall or something?
Yes.
Right? Right. Cher was on AD's panel one night. And she is, right, I'm telling you, she admitted she was a troll. A troll for AD, not AD, she trolled AD and wrote all this shit.
Yes, hold on just a second. Hey, you guys, I want all of you who appreciate Set the Record Straight, because he's working right now, and I have a feeling he's going to be taken off here. He said he was working right now. I want each and every one of you to say what you want to say. Direct your comments to Set the Record Straight. And I'll start off in the comment threads with a capital letters, thank you, Set. Now everybody follow with what you want to say to Set the Record Straight, so that he can see how much he's appreciated in the true crime community by the true crimers. Freudian Slip says, we love you, Straight. Thanks for everything. Al Anders says, Straight, with a red heart. Solchik says, truth teller. Jazz says, Straight is great. Cosmo says, we need more people like Straight in this world. Yes, we do. We definitely do. And I'll tell you, I'm shocked. If Straight was 50 or 60 years old, maybe I wouldn't have been that shocked. But Straight is a young man. For a young man to have the capacity to reach out and to put a protective arm around me is just so incredibly impressive. Mo Girl says, Straight with 3 hearts. James says, my man, Straight. Alternate Juror says, we appreciate you. PJ says, Straight is superb. Private Pirate says, Straight, I have a short list and he's near the top of it. You and me both, Private Pirate. Lainey says, thanks, and a thumbs up. Angie says, he's awesome. Doing Life My Way says, where have you been, Straight? James agrees with Private Pirate. DG says thank you. Elena says thanks straight with 2 thumbs up. Weezer says straight up great. Robin says shows he has good home training. You're darn right. Angie says that's what more people should have done. I hate bullies. Mogirl says I assumed he was an older man. I actually did at first, but then he did a video where he actually talked. And he is not an older man. Or if he's an older man, he sounds younger than that. Tammy says, put link to his channel in here, please. Would somebody like to do that? I think you can. Because if I try to, then I take a risk of losing my window here. Lydia says, straight, you're the man. We love you. Ain't I so funny says, step on up, straight. James says, I was afraid the mafia had taken him down. Straight says, Mama didn't raise no fool. Straight says, oops, I missed it. Straight says mid-30s. That's what I was figuring. Remember how they were accusing you of being me and Roger and everybody else on the planet, and you did that thing that I think you ended your video with, I'm not Mensa. That was so cool. Angie says your mom should be proud. James says straight, you are Tony and I will be your Sil. I think that might be some kind of, is that Joyzy speak? Susie says, if some would link so I can go to his channel. The name of the channel is Straight Up Blowing Minds. STR8 Up Blowing Minds. James says, Mama ain't no user. Izzy says, I just subscribed to Straight. I'm not familiar with his videos, but now I'm intrigued. Lil Mama says, I must be behind, my stuff's not going through. Angie says, Straight, I've watched your videos. Straight says, thanks everyone, makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. And he's laughing. He's laughing at James with his oh, the Sopranos, okay. With the Sopranos reference. Three of a Kind says, is that your pupper in your picture? What a sweetie. She is 3 of a kind. Lil Mama says, for the truth and facts. That's for Set the Record Straight. You're darn right, Lil Mama. That's where you'll see so many facts that you just, Straight has a way of putting all the facts together that you look at it and go, oh my goodness. Straight says, Lil Mama is here. She's one of my ride or die subs. Love Lil Mama. I know it. I love Lil Mama's comments. She's wonderful. And she takes no crap. I don't know if you noticed that over on your channel, but on my channel, if she posts a comment, then someone right away is on her heels to try to make her feel sad or something, and she's just like, yeah, whatever. She doesn't care what anyone else says. She's an inspiration to me because she truly does not care what someone else says. Doing Life My Way says we must all be up for freedom of speech, regardless of what opinion someone has. They have the right to express that opinion. I agree with that. Can you hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, there you are. I can hear you.
Okay.
We got a long list of people saying thank you to Set the Record Straight.
Yeah.
Grace said, hello, everyone. Hi, Straight. Great to see you.
You can't see my face, no.
I see your avatar.
That's all right. That's good. That's all I want you to see.
Eternal Flame says that she's not shouting, she's just using her caps. And even if you want to shout, that's okay too. We don't mind.
I don't know how to get the comments on. Oh God. Yeah, there's comments on, but I can't see them.
Set the Record Straight says, hey, Gracie. Angie says, I just got out of Facebook jail again because I don't take crap. Well, good for you, Angie. Good for you. And anyway, Facebook is, in my opinion, a breeding ground for the psycho crazies because that's where they hack into people's profiles and stuff, and it's really disgusting what they do over there. Yeah. Jeanette Cardinal says, straight, please keep going. Grace says, that voice of his, though, I know it. I know, right? He has the voice for sure. I think we heard 3 words, right? And we're all going like, oh, yeah, that's a nice voice. The same with James, too, though. Close your ears, James, just for a second. Did you notice James' voice? Same thing. The sound of his voice that says, I am a man. Terry says, thank you for your fearlessness. Yeah, I don't think Straight has an ounce of fear at all. At all. I think he is one tough cookie. There, I think I'm up with all the comments. So this whole thing that you went through with the baby and everything,
yeah,
is that something that, like, from that point forward, did you blame the authorities or did you blame your ex?
No,
Okay, you're hesitating, so I can see that it's kind of a mix. So, like, maybe you felt upset that the authorities...
At the start, I'm just trying something here. I have my TV on, but I want to see you bringing up the comments, if you know what I mean.
Right.
I'm just trying something here. Oh God, I hear myself. Oh my God.
Yeah, you got to turn off your volume.
Yeah, I have to mute myself.
Yep.
Or turn it down.
Turn down the volume.
Right, so I'm echoing now, no?
Yeah, it's good now. So at first, were you mad at the authorities, or did you think they did it for the right reasons?
I was mad. No, where the authorities put me. Am I echoing? No.
Nope, you're good.
All right. Okay. Right. At the start, where the authorities put me, I couldn't understand why they put me into something like a rehab, for druggies and alcoholics.
Right.
And no, because where I live in Ireland, that was, that was a shock for me.
Well, they probably didn't have a lot of resources available, and they probably what they needed was somewhere where somebody could evaluate you, and they probably had the evaluators available at that location.
Yeah. And then I couldn't understand then, because I was a first-time mum, and I couldn't understand, oh God, why did you take my baby off me? That was an awful separation,
Right. But at the same time, it may have needed to happen in order for you to leave him, for sure.
Yeah, no. And then when then they came towards me then to bring everything to my attention.
Right.
I had 3 days. 3 days. No, Miss Mensa, 3 days to get everything organized, to get my tickets, to get out of England, to come back home again, and 3 days, leave my house, pack my bag.
Well, good for you. Good for you for having the strength to do that, because there are many people who simply would not have known how to do that, and you did. And
but my choice was, if you don't do it, you wouldn't have your child. So I
So,
just say thank you to the authorities to give me that strength, because
right, right.
they
They basically forced you to act, and that's actually a blessing in disguise, isn't it?
yeah. At the start, it's just went 3 days, blah 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 blah. How am I going? Because I had a business there, and then I had to leave the business. Right? The business was my priority.
Right.
No, my priority was my child. I need my baby, so I had to say okay, and I had to get a boat. I had to book a boat,
A
get
ticket
me,
to, yeah,
yeah, and to get away and
and you
leave
did it.
everything that belonged. It didn't matter.
Yeah, stuff
Everything.
doesn't matter. What matters is your
No,
baby.
yeah, that was the only thing. And I said, "Oh my God, is there a possibility that I can pack a few things for my baby?" And they had to make sure the coast was clear to get me into my house. So just in case he would talk me, do you understand? Talk
Right.
me in, talk me down.
That's a real danger in cases of domestic violence. That is a very big danger. In fact, many survivors say that they tried to leave 5 or 6 or 7 times. Many people say that they endured 7, that's the average, 7 incidents before they finally called for help. And then after they call for help, then a few days later, a month later, whatever, too often they're returning because they want to believe. There's something known as the honeymoon phase and the cycle of violence. And if you're familiar with the cycle of violence, that honeymoon phase is very difficult for survivors of abuse to get through without deciding to return to their abuser. So that's really, as tragic as it sounds, what happened. I think that the government really did you a huge favor by telling you that you had 3 days to get the heck out of there with your baby, or the baby was going into foster care, and that was it. Terry Holliday says, thank you. To set the record straight, chivalry is not dead. And there is something, I want to scroll up here. People are saying, James said something about freedom of speech. And that's what I want to find here real quick. So I want to explain something about the whole freedom of speech thing. Here it is. I found it. Cosmo, there must be a united effort to truly limit freedom of speech. Here's the thing. The true crime case that we're discussing is on the public stage, okay? The public stage does not mean YouTube. It does not mean Facebook. It does not mean being an author of a book. The true crime case is on the public stage, and we have every right to discuss any true crime case where a woman is dead and where 2 innocent children were murdered in what should have been the safety of their own home. That case is on the public stage. That case raises so many issues that are of public concern, okay? Now, on the other hand, the scumbag attackers try to pretend that if you are a book author, then you're on the public stage. Or if you have a YouTube channel, then you're on the public stage. That is not true. If you're familiar with the author Ann Rule, ask yourself how many times you think Ann Rule would have had to endure the bullshit that the scumbag attackers have been doing. We have a right to privacy. We have a right to not be harassed. We have a right to not be doxxed. We have a right for our friends and family members to not be harassed. We have a right for our employers to not be harassed. And being a book author or having a YouTube channel or having a Facebook group does not give anybody the right to call my home at 1 o'clock a.m. 3 times consecutively using a robo voice to disguise her voice. It does not give her the right whatsoever. It's total bullshit. They try to pretend, oh, well, gee, freedom of speech, okay? Which is why I'm bringing all this up. They try to use freedom of speech as their excuse for committing crimes. They have no right to be violating our right to privacy. And we have every right to be discussing the case of Christopher Watts. And then I saw that Set the Record Straight just posted something that I want to grab here quick too. Sorry, when I scroll, there it is. Oops, I go too fast usually. Here it is. Set the Record Straight says, once the truth is exposed, a celebration and a discovery report burning is in order. LOL. Well, I really hope that people associated with the case who do know certain truths, I hope they do feel compelled to tell the truth. Set the Record Straight says, I'll pay for the venue, food and alcohol, and transportation not included. Oh my gosh, that would be wonderful, wouldn't it? I hope that somebody with a case actually steps forward and says the truth of what they know. I also hope that every single person who has contacted me with information decides to go public. I really do. Go public. Hop up on our panel. Create a fake profile if you want to. You know, do what you have to do to protect yourself, but create a fake profile. And I don't mean fake, I mean it's you, right? I'm not saying create a bunch of honey bot, whatever they call them, or any of those computer generated thingies. But, you know, put a name up there that's not your name, is all I'm saying. And hop up on the panel. Tell us what you know, because people deserve to know the truth. Bella and Cece deserve for the truth to be spoken. And children like Bella and Cece deserve for society to catch a clue so that hopefully if their parents start acting like total wingnuts, then society will have a better clue how to help them to make sure that the kids are safe regardless of their parents' problems. Okay, here's another straight lover. Sharon says, I follow Straight, love his channel. James is laughing over in the corner. I'm joking. James likes to laugh. He especially likes to laugh at women who snore, which is why he's in the corner. You guys have really taught me that whole experience, and that with Honey Badger saying Mensa, that was so funny. But you guys really taught me. I went back and saw those comments, and I just started laughing out loud at what you guys were saying in the comment threads. Like, it was just too funny to try to edit it. Laughter's always good. Happy I could oblige, y'all. Happy to oblige. Oh, here he goes. Here he goes. Yep. Yep. I think, what was it you said about creating a video so that we can play it on every anniversary or something? Kind of like it can be like our victory song or something. We could get our birthday girl, whose name is really Andrea, but we're not going to tell. We could get her to sing, and then we could end it with the sound of slumber. Yeah, the panic in Honey's voice was priceless. That was so cute. Because Honey Badger's so tough, right? And then that was so cute. Mensa! And then she's like, well, you guys are on your own. We do have to figure out, though, how to do a kill switch so that way, I mean, you know, just in case, right? Alternate Juror says, I love Honey Badger. Exactly. We can borrow a dinghy. Are you guys talking about how we need to be able to figure out how to save children? If not, then I'm jumping on it, thinking of that one thing that when the parents are co-captaining the family ship directly into the eye of the perfect storm. But then we can learn how to throw kids in the dinghy. Honey Badger, set the record straight, says Honey Badger is my spirit animal. You know, seriously, you guys both know this case, I would say, better than anyone else I know. Honey Badger knows everything. I ask her any question at all, and she's like, bah, 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 bah. James says, I wonder if Badger knows straight. Well, I don't know, Jamie, you're sounding kind of like a shiner with that question, right? Because last I heard, Badger is my daughter, Badger is my neighbor, Badger is... I'm just joking. If not, I bet they'd make a cute pair, wouldn't they? He's in his mid-30s, though, right? He's probably long ago taken. And I'd bet Honey Badger's long ago taken, too. But they, no doubt, would be really good friends. James says, yeah, don't get a life raft with limited rations with Honey Badger. Shenanigan Maker calls me Mensa. That's interesting. I've seen that before, Shenanigan Maker. Where does the Mensa come? Or where does the Mensa come from? I stopped my sentence before I was through. Well, we can always try to play matchmaker, Angie. We can find out, but I don't know if either one of them would be telling us, right? If they're married or single or whatever, because I don't know if you guys have tried, but I've actually kind of tried to find the Honey Badger one, and I can't find anything. I don't know. We shouldn't really ask them. On the other hand, we're a bunch of old ladies who like to play matchmaker. So set the record straight. If you're still here in the chat, are you taken? Because if you're not in a relationship, then we may have found the perfect girl for you. And I don't mean girl to be demeaning at all. We may have found the perfect woman for you. Set the record straight is not answering. He's laughing. He's laughing so hard it looks like he's crying. Well, you don't have to answer set the record straight, but if you ever find yourself in a position where you are available, then the next time Honey Badger comes on, we'll try to find out if she's available too. Okay, can you hear me now?
Hello?
There you are. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was just listening to you nicely. You were doing... That's what I say. You're a good public speaker. I'm not.
Tell us about your last video that you were talking about. You said that you featured 3 different channels?
Oh, yeah. No, 3, yeah. But first of all was Mummy. You know what I mean? I call her Mummy Mia, but you call her something else.
Mama Mia is a good name.
Yeah, you know. But then I want something that you mentioned there when I was listening to you about what she said. What was it? Hold on. I put it up, I put it up on when I was talking about it, I put a caption on. Oh, I can't remember now what I done.
What were the 3 channels that you were including in your video?
I have a problem because she was talking about I have a problem was talking about the money, right? But tomorrow I'm going to put another one about I have a problem as well. She's talking about the Rusak money. Do you know about Iva? Say asking. Iva is the Rusak. She's in the Rusak. If you understand what I'm saying.
Iva was working for the Rusex, or did you say she's done?
She was donating money. I call it the club. She was in that club donating money to get the 10 grand raised up.
Right. I have a problem. Yeah, I have a problem with promoting that whole GoFundMe thing. And I don't know if you noticed it, but the people they're claiming were harassing them, they actually were posting fake donations from those of us they were harassing with that GoFundMe. They were posting fake donations as if they were made by us.
No, but listen to this one. 10 grand was gathered up.
Yeah.
Right? 10 grand was given to Frank Rusick.
Are you sure?
Junior. Yeah.
Are you sure it was? Because the beneficiary was not Frankie Jr. The beneficiary was Sandy.
Well, it was handed over, right?
Okay.
And then Iva had a wee bit too much to drink one night. And Iva says, "Where is the 10 grand? Where did it go? What are you doing with it?" Shannon's law was to get AD off, to get AD put in prison. Which will never, 10 grand wouldn't get AD in prison. You know what I mean?
So wait a minute. So you're saying that one of their biggest supporters got drunk one night and was saying, "Where did the money go?"
Thank you. I have it on video. I have it on my video. Thank you.
So how did that go over? Are they nice to her still?
Oh, no, it's not good at all. You know what I mean? That's why I can put up videos about all the channels now.
So are they talking against I have a problem now?
Yep.
After all of her, I don't know. Isn't she the one who put up a lot of really nasty videos though?
Yep, but I don't care because now she wants to know. Because before, when I was Lose TV, I says, "What are you handing money over for such a thing?" Because that's hundreds and thousands of pounds. You would never get AD off YouTube with a solicitor. That's hundreds of thousands.
Okay, hold on just a minute. There's somebody named Jonathan Lee Riches who just posted a comment saying, "Brenda Irish playing the victim again. You will be receiving my lawsuit soon. I'm suing you on behalf of some people you wrote a book about." Well, Jonathan Riches, I've never heard of you. I've never spoken of you. And I'm not sure that you would have legal standing to be suing me on behalf of anybody. Especially considering that I've never done anything to be sued for. There, I just blocked Jonathan Lee Riches. Okay, go ahead, continue.
Right, no, so do you know of Bam Bam?
No.
Right, Bam Bam is...
Oh, Bam?
Bam, yeah.
Yeah, Bam's that lady who,
Yeah, the mouthpiece.
What?
The mouthpiece who's very dangerous.
Well, I've spoken with Bam on the phone, and
don't.
Well, she actually spoke. She spoke just fine to me.
Mensa. Miss Mensa.
Yes.
Warning. Don't, because she's crawling.
Listen. I spoke with her one time. She spoke just fine to me, and I haven't spoken with her since. That was a long time ago. Well, so that's the extent of what I know about Bam. But
Right. So,
I would say this, that instead of talking about other channels at this point, like, I think it's better to focus on the case,
yeah,
because the other channels, regardless of what the names of their channels are, or how many subs they pretend to have or whatever, or who they're supposedly
yeah,
speaking for at whatever time,
yeah,
it's all the same SHIT, different day, because they have come and gone over the last 2.5 years. They have come and gone so many
yeah,
times,
yeah,
and they all say the same stuff. They all do the same stuff. They all, and people are fighting and
yeah,
whatever. But
yeah,
if we stay focused on discussing the case, I think that's the
yeah,
smartest thing.
yeah. But the
You
thing
know?
is about the Ava thing. Um, they all got This is where Ava's got into trouble
Right, but
talking about.
you know what? I get what you're saying, and like, I think it's cool if people want to check out your channel and stuff. But even the only
Oh,
thing
you
I
don't
know
have
about
to
that,
check it.
the only thing I know about that I have a problem one is that she was putting up some pretty nasty videos.
Yes,
Like, I don't
but
know.
yes, but don't get me wrong. There was a method to that madness. You, if you understand. Oh, I know she put up bad things, but I still wanted to know what the root problem was. You always have to find out what the root was. The root of the problem. Why was she doing that? People
Right,
can put up. So then I had to, it was very hard work, trying to think, why, why,
right.
why, 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 why.
But with me though, my position on all of that is, if somebody shows me what they're made of, and then a year later they're saying that somebody is doing the same thing to them that they did to me, like, my violin is pretty small for that kind of thing. And I don't mean to sound cold, but my violin is pretty small because so many people have signed up to take part in an organized harassment campaign against so many of us, trying to scare us into silence from discussing one true crime case. And then, months later, they're suddenly on the receiving end of whatever from whoever, and they're fighting with each other. And I just think, well, I don't know. There's another one I know of who still has not removed some really crappy videos that she posted. And she goes around trying to act like she never did anything wrong. There's a guy who did some pretty nasty things, and he has a channel where he tries to act like he's Mr. Friendly. I guess if you're going to join in and harass people and not care who you hurt in the meantime, right? And then someone else harasses you down the road, you gotta pick better friends, I guess. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So does anybody want to hop up on the panel? If so, I'll post the link. Let's see here. You guys talk faster than I can read. I'm not familiar with all that stuff. Straight up blowing mine. Seth Record Straight says, I hope Bam turns on them. I have no idea who them is, unless, I don't know. But all that stuff is all kind of like blah, 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 blah to me. Once somebody shows me what they're made of, then I pretty much just don't want to pay attention to them again. Set the Record Straight is laughing really hard at something Shenanigan Maker said. Let's see. Shenanigan Maker said he looked so sad and I loved it. Who looked so sad? Oh. This is cute. This is a really sad day on our planet, let me tell you. A really sad day on our planet when I'm the only one that makes any sense. James says, remember when he vowed to get all of us? I think, are you talking about the driveway speech? Or, I'm not sure. Because I think what stands out in my mind is when his son, or whoever's using his son's profile, posted that he was sending me and I think CK and AD, there were a couple of others, to prison for life. Now, I can't speak for CK and AD and a couple of others, but I can speak for myself. And since I've never committed any crime, and since I've never committed any sort of civil tort or violated any sort of tort law, specific to slander, libel, defamation, IIED, if somebody thinks it's a good idea to try to send me to prison for life, well, I think what they're doing is trying to harass me with those statements. And if someone's saying that they're going to sue me, well, since I've not done anything to be sued for, then that would be a waste of my time, their time, and the court's time. I see in the comment threads they're talking about a new ride. Shenanigan Maker said, remember when he said he'd sue everyone for defamation of Shenan? I think slandering a dead person is what it was. And that was back in the days when they said the FBI would be at my door on Monday morning to arrest me. Do you guys know? I think I told you this in a video recently. There at the beginning, they were saying that I was going to be investigated because they thought that I was at the house the night of the tragedy out in Colorado. Yes, Angie, I think that's exactly what it is. I think they were attempting to frighten us into silence. They wanted to frighten us into silence so that nobody would be discussing the case. I think they wanted people to say certain things in their discussions, and if they didn't have control over channels, then I think they were trying to frighten us into silence. Shenanigan Maker says, again, under common law and according to the definition of this defamation, deceased individuals cannot be defamed. Defamation is defined as an act or statement that damages one's reputation. Shenanigan Maker continues, the dead do not have reputations to damage. The memory of a deceased person can be damaged, but this is not addressed under the tort of defamation. Shenanigan Maker continues, survivors or descendants of the dead have no legal claim on behalf of a deceased relative's good name, nor can they collect on behalf of their own interests relative to that person's reputation. And I think it's important to remember that, people say that we're somehow damaging her reputation when they make their accusations against us, right? Calling us haters. Actually, when we sit here and talk about how one of the friends said that in his opinion, all she had to do was see a commercial for a new illness and she claimed to have that illness too, and that he did not think that her health challenges were physical. And we discussed that and we agree with that. How is that defamation? Because evidently, for that friend anyway, that was her reputation, right? Sonia, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Do you want to do an avatar, Sonia, or do you want to go with your face? If you hold up a number one, if you want to go on right now. Hold up one finger if you want to. Okay. Okay, welcome, Sonia.
Hello.
Sonia disappeared. That was fast. Okay, I'll post the link. I see it. There's the link again. Oh, is Sonia a shiner? Oh, we have our resident shiner ready to come on board. It's Justice 100 for win. Let's see. Let me scroll up here first and look at these. And here comes Sonia. JLK says, people threaten lawsuits all the time. Do you know how expensive litigation is? Well, I know that if somebody tries to mess with me by abusing and using the courts for frivolous lawsuits, it will be expensive for them. Okay, guys, here we go. I think we have a couple of shiners ready to talk. Oh, wait. Justice 100 for win. It says devices not connected. So, okay, we'll click on Sonia here. Hi, Sonia.
Hi there. Hi, everybody. So, I don't know if you've heard or seen Daniel Bishop's channel, and I
Yes.
just wanted to say that I seen one of his videos where he said that Frankie started a GoFundMe page for $10,000 to go against all the YouTubers speaking on this case. So I was like, wow, really? It's all about money.
Yeah,
That's what my thoughts were.
that was put up on the GoFundMe fundraiser website, and I think they put it up like 2 or 3 weeks before the Netflix series or the Netflix
Yeah.
docudrama came out.
But I still think that's the case. They want to be the only ones that I guess benefit. We're not doing it to benefit. I think it's more like we want to talk about the missing pieces of this puzzle because nothing makes sense. And the only channels that I how can I say it? The only channels that I understood to be one of the best channels, or a few of the channels that were doing the right thing. One of your was yours, Straight Eight, and thought provoking videos.
Yeah,
Those three. Oh my
thought-provoking
god!
videos too. Yeah.
So
Yeah, she puts out
those
some
were the
really
only
good
channels.
ones. The
Those were
next
the only
time
channels that I was following.
the next time you're on the Daniel Bishop channel, you should check and see if he's deleted the videos yet that he made bashing me and harassing me. He spent a lot of time attacking me, and it was really nasty.
I
And
didn't see any of them, but I did
good.
see that he changed his mind about the how he started it. He started it going with Shanann, going with Shanann saying that she was a great lady, but then after a while, like the last couple of videos that
Well,
I seen,
he actually
he turned.
started not knowing anything at all about the case. He started by bashing me, and he made his channel by bashing me. And
Well, I think you were very famous back then, so
he
that's the
made
way to come up.
he made one video after another that was absolutely disgusting and disgraceful. And he did
Sad.
say a short time ago he did apologize for that, and he did say he was going to remove all the videos. But then about a month after that, people in his chat were laughing about his videos about me, and he evidently hadn't removed them. And then he said that he would as soon as he got back home. So I'm not sure quite how to read him, if he's
I,
okay with leaving hateful crap online.
well, if we all have the right to our opinions, and my opinion is that he got you to come up. You
Well,
were very heard
well,
from. So,
yeah,
and I
and his videos were just nothing but hateful. They were disgusting. It was very surprising to see him talking about praying and talking about being a
yeah,
Christian, and then doing the
right.
stuff that he was doing. Now, if he wants to apologize and actually remove all the videos, then hallelujah, that's great, and I appreciate
Mhm.
that. But last I knew,
Hypocrisy.
he hadn't yet removed all the videos, so I don't know. Okay, let's see. We have Tracy Dyer. Let's see what Tracy wants to say. Hi, Tracy.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Hello.
Good. I wanted your opinion on the note that Chris Watts wrote,
It's
supposedly when
impossible to hear you, Tracy. You need to either check your background or something, because right now it's impossible to hear you. Hey, Justice. How you doing?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can.
Cool. Do you remember when you were called Miss Mensa on YouTube, Brenda?
You know what, Justice? Really?
No,
You're
no,
gonna
no,
go there
no,
again? Oh my
no.
God. I am
Brenda,
so
have the
I
stuff.
am
Have
so
the
not
stuff.
surprised. So not surprised that Justice wants to climb up on the panel and act like a little twerp. Bye-bye, Justice. Okay, let's
Wow.
see here. Okay. Who's the shiner doing Life My Way? Besides Justice, I mean. Because we kind of know that. Yeah, he's gone off the stage, but I don't know how to delete him. So he's sitting backstage. Oh wait, there I go. There, I just kicked him from the studio. DG says, those poor kids deserve for the truth to be known. And DG says that SW clearly abused those babies. In my opinion, poor little Bella had the weight of the world on her shoulders. Justice, if you want to type in the comments what it is you want to say, then I'll decide whether or not to give you another chance. But when you start off like that, I'm not playing your game. Okay, Justice just sent a private chat that says just chat and be civil. Huh. Crap, now I don't know how to get it off of the private chat. Let me see here. There we go. Okay, good. This too shall pass says, I ran from preparing dinner to hear Justice, LOL. Let me go back to put my chicken in the oven. Terry says, no, I don't trust him. But I don't know who Terry's talking about. What harm can Justice do? Okay, let's go ahead. Justice, I'll give you a chance, but you and I both know you're a game player, and you know I don't like it when you play games. So, little bit of ground rules here for you. Discuss the case, because I have this cool little picture of a microphone that I can click on that can, make your voice go silent, at least on this channel. Not that I'm into silencing people, which is why I'm being nice and letting you back on. Okay, go ahead. What would you like to say, Justice?
So you believe in free speech?
You trying to pull that crap on my channel? And you've been watching for how long? On the
I've
channel
seen
that
you
says all opinions are welcome, on the channel that puts the link in the chat saying
on
come
the
on up
channel
everyone,
I'm
come on up
blocked.
everybody, and you want to hop up here when I say discuss the case, and the very first thing out of your mouth is so you believe in free speech. Do you want to discuss the case, Justice, or not?
Yeah, definitely relates to the
Okay, good.
case.
Okay, go ahead and, well, I'm not saying relates to the case. If you want to discuss the case, discuss the
No,
case.
it doesn't work like that.
Well, it does on my channel. James says, I am still praying. What? There it went. You guys are fast. I am still praying for a first timer. What's that mean? I'm going to hit mute here. Does anyone want to come up and talk a little bit? Because I have to go take care of my dog for a second. Well, I was actually planning on letting Justice go ahead and talk about the case while I went and took care of the dog, 3 of a kind. But he's making it very clear that he's not interested in discussing the case. Okay, come on back up. And Jane, yes, Jane, hop up too if you don't mind. You know what would be cool is if Jane hopped up and talked to Justice. That would be cool. Because Jane has more patience, I think, than I do. Okay, try again, Justice. If you want to talk about the case, feel free. Hey, Justice, you want to talk about the case? Do I have you muted? I'm sorry. I'm sitting here asking you a question. I think I have your microphone off. I'm clicking on it. It won't work. Oh, you muted yourself, it says. Can't unmute because you muted yourself. So, Justice, if you want to talk, you have to unmute your microphone. Oh, Justice doesn't want to talk, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I believe that to be true. I do believe that's where he comes from. Okay, here we go. Add to stream. Hi, James.
Hello, Miss Weeks.
I'll try to add Justice again, but he muted himself, so I'm not sure if he's able to be heard. Justice, are you there, Justice?
Come back, Justice.
Yeah, he muted himself.
Justice, we can work this out. Come back.
Maybe he's using the potty or something. Because he's muted. When I try to do it, it comes up with a message. It says, can't unmute your guest because they chose to mute themselves. Oh, well. We'll go ahead and say bye-bye, Justice, then. He can hit the link if he wants to come back up. There. I just kicked him from the studio. So how are you today, James?
I'm doing it. It was fun. Chance to talk about this incident again.
Uh-oh, I didn't hear that. I heard it looks like, and then I heard again, but I didn't hear in between. Uh-oh. Are you sitting on your router?
I am on the router.
I heard I'm sitting on the router, so that's good. But I didn't hear what you said the first time. I hear a grandfather clock.
I to the router right now. Oh, my apologies. I can't keep the Wi-Fi signal going, guys. I'll have to drop out.
Oh, dang. Well, we're glad that you hopped up and tried. That's really cool. Yeah, there's something about the connection, Mo girl. There's something about not the connection, the signal. I'm going to mute for just a second because I do have to. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I have a dog who likes attention once in a while. I don't know if you should have the router in his room, though. Although I'm older, so I wonder about stuff like that. You know, I still wonder about microwaves. He's a little Jack Russell who thinks he's a person. He actually walks on his two back legs. No kidding. When there are a few of us going for a walk, then he'll sometimes walk on his hind legs like he's a person. It's really hilarious. And then when you tell him to stop it and to act like a dog, he kind of looks at you like he has hurt feelings. Kind of like he wants you to think he isn't. Straight up blowing minds. Set the record straight says, I'll do a video about it and show where to find it in Discovery. Straight, or James says, I wonder about a lot of the signals we use too. Yeah, you know, like all the smart meters and the everything, right, is hooked up to everything. It's kind of like, I don't know. And then if you live in an area where, like, especially if you live in an apartment or something, but even in a residential area where the houses are kind of, you know, the zero lot line neighborhoods and stuff, just imagine how many routers are in that small area, right? Lainey says, my Max is a Jack Russell. Does your Max ever walk on his hind legs and pretend like he's a person? He doesn't do it when it's just me taking him for a walk. It's if we have a couple, three of us, right? If we have like 2 or 3 adults walking with the dog, then all of a sudden, before we know it, he's up on his hind legs walking along with us. It's the weirdest thing. It'd make a cute video, actually. Okay, James says we have a lot of stuff to discuss about the NA stuff, that NA interview. I tried it at the beginning to play that video, but you can't hear it. So, and in the little part that I played before I realized that nobody could hear it, she was looking at a text message that she received from one of her MLMer people to answer the question for the police officer. I think he said, is there anything else or something? And she said she wanted to look at that text message. From the sounds of it, it was like the talking points that the other MLM gave her to tell the police. I thought that was interesting. And I bet Honey Badger will find that interesting too. Yeah, my dog was already doxxed. Set. They doxed my dog a couple years ago. No doubt they're calling every veterinarian in town, you know, to pretend like they're the dog's mother so they can set up an appointment. Lil Mama says, yes, he needs to open his mouth for his daughters. I agree completely. You know, people who accuse us of being in love with Christopher Watts couldn't be further from the truth. The more time that goes on that he sits there not telling what happened, you know, the more I think, how on earth can you be allowing your children's deaths to be, I guess, I don't know. It's just, it's wrong on so many levels if so much of what we're learning about this case is the truth. then the way he's acting is wrong on so many levels. Why is it that we're the ones that care about what Bella and Cece went through, you know? I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Well, he spends his time writing letters and talking to people, and, you know, what is this crap of him having one girlfriend after another? What on earth? Why doesn't he care about the truth? Why doesn't he care about revealing what was happening? Why doesn't he care about other children who could be helped by learning from whatever it was that took place, right? Whatever the truth is. Why doesn't he care enough to speak out? And like we said the other day about the battered male syndrome, he may be psychologically incapable of it. He might be in some sort of a little buffer zone to keep from even facing any of it, right? And then that's where I would back up to say, well, I think his family should be advocating for him to have whatever help he needs, right? Including a lawyer who no doubt would tell him to stop talking. Set the Record Straight says, I have the discovery in paper form. I know exactly what happened, so I don't need to watch YouTube videos on the case. Can't trust half these channels anyway because they're not legit. This too shall pass says, what's he afraid of? That's the million-dollar question, really. It is very frustrating. It is. And then every time somebody new comes out saying that they have talked to him or that they have letters from him or something, it's like, why on earth are all these people talking to a bunch of strangers? Why don't they have a lawyer? Set the Record Straight says he's afraid of Sandy. I think at some kind of psychological, maybe subconscious level, he might be afraid of his wife. Do you remember that case of that lady who stabbed her husband? She was still afraid of him long after his death. She was afraid he was going to come walking through the door. So maybe at some level he's still afraid of his wife. I don't know. Alternate juror says, I don't believe we will ever know the entire truth. James says we should all be afraid of a woman who can predict death in an oil tank from thousands of miles away. I thought that was interesting how they allowed her to identify her daughter's body over the phone. The next time Honey Badger comes up here too, I'm going to ask her to tell us what was said during that phone call. Iowa Clover says, if I get one more call about the warranty of my vehicle, messing up my Mensa time. Guess Cosmo, his defeatist attitude is obvious. I don't get this. He has an entire Doritos factory on his left shoulder. I don't get that. I missed that one. Sorry, guys, I missed it. I'm scrolling down. It's a, oh, dang. Oh, dang. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. And that is so basic. I should have caught it myself. Oh my gosh. Thank you for that. Eternal says, is she beautiful? Has she got black hair? Then that's my daughter. That's how they're identifying bodies now in Colorado? Really? Doing Life My Way says, does she have black hair? Is she beautiful? Ellie said yes. Sandy said yes, it's her daughter. Chrissy says, bye, Felicia. I don't know if that's an exit or if she's saying goodbye to somebody else who's making a grand exit. Oh, Alice Cooper has the real discovery. Oh, that's good to know. So does everybody else have the fake discovery? Lil Mama says, even on Nate's camera, did you see how they had the baby, the skull and oil that looked like a setup? Oh, the commercial? Yeah, that looked pretty weird, didn't it? Alternate juror says, straight, what is the truth? Irene says, was it the case where the abused wife killed her husband and buried him in the flower bed in the front yard? That might be a different one because in this case, I think she buried him in the backyard. But yeah, she stabbed him, buried him, and then she seriously, no kidding, was afraid that he was going to come walking through the front door. And she was also afraid that he would be able to hear her through the heating duct work when she was speaking with a counselor and she was about to admit some of the stuff that he had done to her. She was afraid that he might be able to hear her through the ventilation system. I know it. That was a cute joke, and I totally missed it. It went way over my head. Yes, exactly. Severe PTSD, no doubt about it. And that's the one where she stabbed him like 193 times, and I've often wondered if she didn't stab him like one time for each time he may have hurt her. Yes, Melissa, I agree. I think the Darley case would be a good one. Thunder Before Lightning says, I'd say they identified her by the simple fact that her husband said, I put her in a hole in the oil field. What are the chances they find another dark-haired 30-something-year-old woman in a hole there? Yeah, I think they probably pretty much knew when they found the bodies that they found Christopher Watt's wife and children. But still, there has to be an official identification, I think. And I think the topic that we're discussing is whether or not that's normally how an official identification takes place. Paul says, I think she was 40-something. You know what, Paul? A lot of people think that. And I've often wondered myself if maybe she wasn't maybe 5, 6, 7 years older than she claimed. Chrissy says that he doesn't know the truth because his memory has been altered. He was told to blow up the tanks, hence his truck parked away from them. He didn't, and at that time didn't know his girls were inside. Interesting, Chrissy. Interesting. Oh, that one. Yeah, Irene, that's a different one. And I remember that one. I can picture it. He had kind of like he had perfect bright white teeth. And I think he was asking around the gym, wasn't he? Oh, wait, no. He's the one who killed her in that case. That's a different case. I don't know. Irene says, has anybody pulled up SW's birth certificate? Shenanigan Maker says that she made him tell his parents she was 42. She said, wouldn't it be funny if we told your mom and dad that I was 40 years old, so the first time that they meet me, then we can see the looks on their faces? Paul says, yes, Shenanigan Maker, that was such a funny joke. And I think Paul's being facetious. Who does that, right? Who does that? Yeah, lie to your parents. Tell them I'm 40 so we can see the looks on their faces. Three of a Kind says, I couldn't believe it when I found out she was the same age as me. I just presumed she was in her 40s. Chris says, well, he doesn't look mid-30s either. I agree. Set the Record Straight says, I believe she was born in 1981. This too shall pass says, a little truth with a lie. James says, be sure to use the correct name spelling or you won't find the records. Well, let's see. It's almost 5 o'clock where I'm at, Eastern Standard Time. Is anyone else cool with us all saying, have a great evening? And then the next time we hop on, hopefully, wouldn't that be cool if both Honey Badger and Set the Record Straight came on? Set the Record Straight, since you're still in the chat, I want you to know that if you're not taken, we're going to try to set you up with Honey Badger. So beware. But let's go ahead and say, everyone have a great evening, and we'll do this again really soon because I've got the unlimited package now, so we can do this a lot. Okay, I don't understand what that means. Shenanigan Maker says that a zit doesn't typically last 5 years. You guys lost me. Mo Girl says, night night, guys. James says, for sure, goodbye, all. How do we find the time for your next live? The problem with that is if I set a thing like, let's say, whatever date, whatever time, then all the scumbag attackers just line up and jump in and, you know, they have their little scripts ready. So I would say, you know, I've got the unlimited package, so just pretty much just figure that, and we talk for a long time, so just figure that the next time we're on, you'll catch it, and if not, we'll have another one after that. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it light and loose, because otherwise, if we start doing it like an organized way, then we're just inviting the scumbag attackers to, you know, jump in and try to take up our airspace. But we'll do it more. We'll do it more often. And until then, everybody be safe, be healthy, and know that you are loved.